turn 6-year-old, and today I'm going to read Sorry is Harry and Mudge and the bedtime thumps. Now, they're Sorry by Carrarati, pictured by Cedric Sampson. Yeah, and this has 5 to grandma's house, 30 hello treats, 19 a lot of looks, 27 the bedtime dump. Okay, to grandmother's house. Harry and his big dog Mudge were going to the country with Harry Parrot. Harry was reading comic book. Mudge was chewing his toes now. They were going to visit Harry's grandmother and never meet Harry's grandmother had never met Mudge, so Mudge saw Harry worried. He worried that Mudge might draw blood on her skirt. He worried that Mudge might eat her coffee table, but mostly he worried that Mudge might have to sleep outside. Mudge had never slept outside before, and if Mudge slept outside, Harry would be alone, trying to sleep in an empty room, in a strange house, in a dark yard in the country. Harry read his comic book and worried. The longer he wrote, the more he worried. Soon he began to bite his fingernail. Chew, bite, split. Chew, bite, split. Yeah, try it again. Chew, bite, split. 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 Okay, Harry bites his finger. Mudge chews his fingernail. Mudge chews his toenail, and the car drove on. Hello, Tweet. Hello, sweetie. After reading for a long time, Harry and Mudge saw the grandma's house. It had a bird trap and a garden full of corn. Harry and Mudge looked at each other. Their fingernails and toes were very short. Harry's grandmother came out. She had a big smile and a polka-dot dress. Mudge took one look at her, and his tail wiggled and wiggled and wiggled. Hello, sweetie, Harry's grandmother said to Harry. She hugged him tight. Hello, sweetie, Harry's grandmother said to Mudge. She hugged him tight. Harry's grandmother wiped dog grew off her sleeve, and they followed her into the house. A lot of luck. Harry's grandmother's house was really small. It had a lot of table and things on the table. Harry looked at Mudge and for the first time wished that Mudge was smaller, shorter, thinner. Mudge looked like an elephant in a phone booth. And before too long, Mudge knocked a pink flamingo off of a table. "Oh, Mudge," Harry said. Harry, faster, give Mudge a look. The Mudge knocked a wishing well off of a table. "Oh, Mudge," Harry said. Harry faster, and Harry's mother gave Mudge a look. Now when Mudge knocked a ball of peppermints off of a table, Harry's father and Harry's mother and Harry's grandmother give Mudge a look. The bedtime thumps. After dinner, Harry played outside with Mudge. He loved the bird tap. Mudge especially, it was like a giant water dish just for him. What about Mudge? When it was dark, Harry's father called Harry in. "What about Mudge?" asked Harry. "He has to sleep outside." And Harry's father said, "Outside," said Harry. Harry looked at Mudge sitting in the dark country yard. Harry was afraid. He was afraid Mudge would be alone, and he was afraid Mudge would be sad. But mostly he was afraid Mudge would be asleep if Harry needed to be safe from a bear or a bobcat or a giant moth or a house or a mouse. Harry gave Mudge a tight hug. Then he went inside, biting his fingernail when he would wish. And in bed, Harry lay in the dark. His eyes were big, his heart was pounding, his knees were shaking. Then whoosh, flop, a moth. Harry jumped out of bed. He ran to the front door. "Mudge," he called out in a loud whisper. Thump, thump, thump. Mudge wigged his tail from under the porch table. "Hi, Mudge," Harry said as he crawled under the table too. He was glad to see Mudge. Mudge was glad to see him. Mudge licked Harry's face and smiled his ears and shook his head. Then Harry lay his head on Mudge's big chest. And finally he stepped a good sleep as the shrank house in the dark yard in the country. And when the moth flew by, Mudge ate it. And goodbye everyone, but don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye. See you next day.